The expensive china teacup shattered against our living room wall, missing my head by inches. My mother-in-law Patricia's face was contorted with rage as she screamed, "That money is rightfully mine. I gave you that lottery ticket. Half of the $8 million belongs to me." My husband Tom sat frozen on the couch, caught between his mother's fury and my calm determination. I slowly reached for my phone, maintaining eye contact with Patricia as I pulled up the video. "Actually," I said quietly, "I think you should see something. Remember the convenience store on Oak Street? The one with all the security cameras?" Patricia's face flickered with uncertainty. "What are you talking about? I bought that ticket last Tuesday." "No," I interrupted, turning my phone to show the crystal-clear security footage. "You didn't." The color drained from Patricia's face as she watched herself on the screen, clearly stealing my lottery ticket from my purse while visiting our house last week. When the video showed her replacing it with a different ticket, she collapsed onto our armchair, her designer outfit suddenly looking like an expensive costume. But let me back up and explain how we got here. I'm Rachel Chun, 34, an IT security specialist married to Tom Walker for the past 5 years. Tom's a high school science teacher with a heart of gold and one major blind spot: his manipulative mother, Patricia. Patricia Walker had been a thorn in our marriage from day one. A widow who'd never worked, she'd spent her life living off her late husband's insurance money and manipulating her only child. When Tom and I got married, she saw it as a personal betrayal. "Teachers barely make enough to support themselves," she'd sniffed during our engagement. "At least Rachel has a real job in computers or whatever." That whatever was actually a senior position at a cybersecurity firm where I specialized in surveillance systems and digital forensics. It's ironic that Patricia never bothered to learn what I really did for a living. That knowledge might have prevented her current predicament. The lottery ticket situation started 3 weeks ago. I stopped at the Oak Street Market after work to pick up milk and decided to buy a ticket for the state lottery. The jackpot had reached $8 million, and while I wasn't a regular player, something told me to try my luck. "Good luck," smiled Mr. Patel, the store owner, as he printed my ticket. "That camera system you helped me install has been working great, by the way. Catches everything now." I'd helped Mr. Patel upgrade his security system the previous month after a series of shoplifting incidents. The new setup included high-definition cameras with clear views of every angle, plus backup cloud storage of all footage. Another detail Patricia would have done well to know. I tucked the lottery ticket into my wallet and promptly forgot about it. The following week was busy with work and Patricia's constant demands for attention. She'd been especially clingy lately, showing up unannounced at our house and calling Tom multiple times a day. "Mom's lonely," Tom would say apologetically. "She misses Dad." What Tom saw as loneliness, I recognized as calculation. Patricia had been running low on funds lately, her expensive lifestyle finally catching up with her 15 years after her husband's death. She'd been dropping hints about moving in with us to save money. The Wednesday before the lottery drawing, Patricia arrived unannounced, again, while I was in the shower. I came downstairs to find her rummaging through my purse, supposedly looking for aspirin. Something felt off about the encounter, but I was running late for work and didn't think much about it. That would turn out to be significant later. Saturday morning, Tom and I were having coffee and checking the lottery numbers online when my casual glance turned into a shocked double-take. The numbers matched. All of them. "Tom," I whispered, "I think we just won $8 million. We triple-checked the numbers, both of us shaking. It was real. We'd won the jackpot. Tom started laughing and crying at the same time, picking me up and spinning me around our kitchen. "We can pay off the house," he exclaimed. "Start that science program I've been dreaming about for the school. Maybe even." His excitement was cut short by his phone ringing. Patricia's number flashed on the screen. "Mom, you'll never believe,"
Tom started to say.
I could hear Patricia's shrill voice through the phone. "I know. I just checked the numbers. I gave Rachel that ticket last week, remember? I was saving it to give her as a gift, but she took it out of her purse while I was there. Half of that money is mine." Tom's face fell as he looked between me and the phone.
"What?"
"Mom, I don't remember. Put me on speaker," I said firmly. Once Patricia's voice filled the room, I asked, "When exactly did you give me this ticket?" "Last Wednesday. I brought it over as a gift, but you were in the shower. I was going to surprise you with it, but you took it out of your purse." I caught Tom's eye. "Interesting. And where did you buy this supposed gift ticket?" The store on Oak Street. Tuesday afternoon." Patricia was getting flustered. "Tom, honey, you know I'm telling the truth. I always buy my tickets there." "Actually," I said calmly, "I bought that ticket myself. Monday evening after work. At Oak Street Market. And I have proof." There was a long silence on the phone. Then Patricia announced she was coming over immediately to sort this out. She arrived 20 minutes later in full battle mode, designer handbags swinging like a weapon. That's how we ended up in our current situation, dodging thrown teacups while I pulled up the security footage that would expose her lie. The video was damning in its clarity. There was Patricia, casual as could be, opening my purse while I was in the shower. She removed my lottery ticket, checked the numbers, then replaced it with a different ticket she pulled from her own wallet. "You switched the tickets," I stated flatly. "You saw my ticket in my purse, took it, and replaced it with one of your losing tickets. Then when the numbers hit, you thought you could claim you'd given it to me as a gift." Patricia's carefully maintained facade cracked. "You don't understand. I need that money. The insurance money is almost gone. I'm behind on my mortgage." "Stop." Tom's voice was barely a whisper, but it cut through his mother's excuses like a knife. "You tried to steal from us. You're on camera stealing from my wife." "Not stealing," Patricia protested. "I was going to share it. We're family." I held up my phone again. "This footage shows premeditated theft. Plus, I have the store's security video of me actually buying the ticket. And Mr. Patel's statement confirming it was my purchase. Would you like to see those too?" Patricia's designer handbag slid from her shoulder as she slumped further into the armchair. "Tommy, please, you can't let her do this to me. I'm your mother." But Tom had seen enough. Years of making excuses for his mother's behavior crumbled in the face of undeniable evidence. "Get out," he said quietly. "Get out of our house. And if you try to cause any problems about this lottery win, Rachel will take this footage to the police." "You'd choose her over your own mother?" Patricia wailed, playing her final manipulation card. "You chose greed over your own son's happiness," Tom replied. "Please leave.
Now."
After Patricia fled in tears, Tom and I sat in stunned silence amid the broken teacup shards. Finally, he turned to me with tears in his eyes. "I'm so sorry," he whispered. "All these years, I made excuses for her behavior. I never wanted to see who she really was." I held him while he cried, mourning the mother he thought he had. Later that evening, as we cleaned up the broken china, he asked about the security footage. "Did you know about her switching the tickets that day?" I shook my head. I suspected something was off when I found her in my purse, but I didn't check the footage until after her phone call this morning. I figured if she was telling the truth about giving me the ticket, there'd be video of that too. Tom nodded slowly. "You know what's ironic? If she'd just been happy for us, I probably would have given her some money anyway. Set up a trust fund or something to make sure she was taken care of." "That's because you're a good person," I said, squeezing his hand. "You think about others. She only thinks about herself." The next few weeks were a whirlwind of lawyers, financial advisors, and decisions about the lottery winnings. We opted for the lump sum payment rather than annual installments, knowing we needed to secure our future before Patricia could cause more problems. She didn't go quietly, of course. First came the tearful voicemails begging Tom to reconsider. When those didn't work, she tried guilt-tripping other family members into intervening on her behalf. "She's living in her car," Tom's Aunt Susan claimed dramatically. "You have to help her. She owns a $600,000 house," I replied calmly. "If she's living in her car, that's her choice." Then came the social media campaign. Patricia posted long, tearful videos about being betrayed by her only son and his gold-digging wife, who stole her lottery ticket. I responded by sending her a cease and desist letter from our lawyer, along with still shots from the security footage. The posts were deleted within hours. Through it all, Tom remained firm in his decision to cut ties with his mother. Years of therapy had given him tools to recognize manipulation, but seeing actual proof of her attempted theft was the final push he needed. "I keep thinking about what else she might have done over the years," he confided one night. "All the times things went missing or stories didn't quite add up. We focused on putting the money to good use." Tom's dream of creating an advanced science program at his high school became reality. We established a scholarship fund for students interested in STEM careers, particularly those from underprivileged backgrounds. I continued working at my IT security job, though now it was more from passion than necessity. We paid off our mortgage and set up solid investment plans, determined to be responsible with our windfall. The irony wasn't lost on us that Patricia's attempt to steal our good fortune had actually protected us from her future manipulations. The security footage didn't just save our lottery winnings, it freed Tom from a lifetime of emotional exploitation. 3 months after the confrontation, we received a thick envelope from Patricia's lawyer. Inside was a rambling letter demanding a fair settlement and threatening to sue for emotional distress. Our lawyer's response was brief and devastating. Copies of the security footage, Mr. Patel's sworn statement about my ticket purchase, and a warning that any legal action would result in criminal charges for attempted theft. We didn't hear from Patricia directly again, but through family grapevine we learned she'd had to sell her house and move to a small apartment. She told anyone who would listen that we'd destroyed her life. She destroyed her own life, Tom said firmly when his aunt relayed this news. She had a son who loved her and would have helped her if she'd just been honest. Instead, she chose greed and lies. A year after winning the lottery, our lives had found a new normal. Tom's science program was thriving, with several students already accepted to prestigious universities on full scholarships. I'd started a side business consulting on security systems for small businesses like Mr. Patel's store. We bought a vacation home in the mountains, a peaceful retreat where we could escape the occasional drama that still swirled around Patricia's ongoing attempts to gain sympathy from family members. The security footage that exposed her theft remained saved in multiple secure locations, a necessary precaution given her tendency to rewrite history. Sometimes Tom watched it when he felt guilty about cutting contact with her, using it as a reminder that his decision was based on evidence, not emotion. During the Christmas holidays, we received an unexpected letter from Patricia's neighbor. She wrote to thank us for the anonymous grocery deliveries she'd been accepting on Patricia's behalf, assuming they were from us. They weren't. We hadn't sent anything. Further investigation revealed Patricia had been telling neighbors we were having her groceries delivered as a way to save face about her reduced circumstances. "She's still lying," Tom said sadly, reading the neighbor's letter. "She'd rather make up stories about fake groceries than admit she tried to steal from us." The experience changed how we viewed both money and family. We learned that sudden wealth doesn't just reveal other people's true characters, it forces you to examine your own values and boundaries. We used part of our winnings to establish a foundation supporting educational initiatives and small business security upgrades. Every time we helped a struggling student or a shop owner like Mr. Patel, it felt like transforming Patricia's negative energy into something positive. 2 years post-lottery win, we ran into Patricia at a local restaurant. She was dining with friends, telling animated stories and wearing designer clothes that suggested she'd found new sources of financial support. She didn't acknowledge us, but we overheard enough of her conversation to know she was still playing the victim role, still claiming we'd somehow cheated her out of her lottery win. "Some people never change," Tom said as we left the restaurant. But we did. We changed for the better. He was right. The lottery millions had brought us financial security, but Patricia's attempted theft and exposure had given us something more valuable: clarity about who we were and what we stood for. The security footage still exists, safely stored away as insurance against any future attempts at manipulation or illegal action. But its real value isn't as evidence, it's as a reminder that sometimes seeing the unvarnished truth, however painful, is the first step toward building a better future. Today, our lives are filled with the kind of wealth Patricia could never understand: genuine relationships, meaningful work, and the peace that comes from living honestly. The $8 million changed our financial situation, but exposing Patricia's theft changed our lives. We recently helped Mr. Patel upgrade his store's security system again, installing even better cameras. As we worked, he mentioned that Patricia still comes in occasionally to buy lottery tickets. She always checks for cameras now, he said with a knowing smile. Some lessons stick. Indeed they do. The lottery ticket that changed our lives wasn't just about the winning numbers. It was about seeing the truth that had been hidden in plain sight. Sometimes the biggest wins come from unexpected revelations. Tom now counsels other lottery winners through a support group, sharing our story as a warning about how sudden wealth can expose hidden character flaws in family members. The security footage has become a powerful teaching tool, showing how greed can destroy relationships that money can't buy. Patricia continues to live in her small apartment, presumably still telling anyone who'll listen about how we stole her lottery win. But the truth caught on camera that day can't be erased or rewritten, no matter how many stories she invents. We've learned to find humor in her ongoing attempts to rewrite history. The security footage remains our reality check, a digital record of the moment when lies met truth and truth won. Our lottery winnings have grown through careful investment, but our richest gains came from learning to value truth over comfortable illusions. Sometimes the best gift money can give you is the strength to face reality and the courage to act on what you see. Tom keeps a small piece of that broken teacup on his desk, not as a reminder of Patricia's rage, but as a symbol of breaking free from manipulation and lies. Sometimes the shattering of old patterns, however painful, makes room for something better to emerge. The security cameras that caught Patricia's theft still watch over Oak Street Market, silent witnesses to countless small dramas. But none quite as life-changing as the day they captured a desperate woman trying to steal not just a lottery ticket, but her son's trust in her. Money, we've learned, doesn't change who people are, it reveals who they've been all along. Our $8 million win showed us both the worst and best in human nature, teaching us that true wealth lies not in what you have, but in being someone others can trust. And that's worth more than any lottery jackpot. Thanks for watching. See you again in the next video. Stay stunned. Thanks for watching. See you again in the next video. Stay stunned.